Good morning. I am currently making coffee because today is my day off and I have eggs sitting here that need to be washed. So I figured, let me pop on, let me make my coffee, and then I'll show everybody how I wash my farm fresh eggs, because I've talked about them several times on my channel before. So I figured you guys might like to see how I wash them up. So first, let's make our coffee. Okay, we're back, and I have my coffee, which is absolutely delicious. Not only did I make myself a cup of coffee, I made my protein coffee for the day, which is over ice. Okay, I was going to hop right back on and get started, but the coffee pot was too loud. So here we are. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take the camera and I'm going to show you the sink to show you how I get everything all set up to wash our eggs. Okay, so here we are. So I am going to take my lovely stopper here and I am going to fill the sink with warm water, lukewarm, not hot by any means. You could do ice cold if you wanted to, but who wants their hands in ice cold water? Okay, so I'm going to get that filled up to about right here, and then we'll add our eggs. So our sink is prepared for our eggs, and if you come over here, I've already opened all the containers. This time I only purchased 4 dozen instead of 5, but take a look at these eggs. They're huge. That's a big egg. I don't know if you can tell or not. But they're huge. Okay, let's get to washing. All right, so at this point it's super easy. We're just gonna gently take the eggs and set them down into the sink one at a time. I have been in a hurry trying to do this before, and it's not pretty because I wind up hitting the eggs into this or on here as I'm trying to quickly put them into the sink, and they break. So we have to do this part one by one and very slowly. Okay, so I have got all 4 dozen eggs in the sink. These are beautiful. I've got all different shades of brown. You know what? I'm just going to show you. Look at all those eggs. Look at, there's one with spots. So I've got all different shades of brown eggs. I know in this camera it looks like they're not covered, but they are, except for like maybe these 2 right here. Aren't they pretty? So what I did was I left my containers open here because after I wash the eggs, I am going to put them back in the containers to dry. So let me show you how I like to wash my eggs. So you saw that they were down in the water, so I just take my vegetable brush and I wet it, and I come through like this. I clean the egg, I dunk it in the water, and then I put it back in the container. And I do this for all the eggs. Some of the eggs aren't even dirty, really, but you have to do this, you know, to get them clean. Plus, I don't know if you guys know this, but if you leave your eggs, like if you buy farm fresh eggs like this and they're not washed, and you leave them on the counter, you can leave them out there for weeks. Someone once told me even a month, but you have to wash them before you use them. Once you wash them, like I am now, they have to go in the fridge because you're washing off that protective coating that allows you to leave it on the counter. But eggs don't last that long around here. I probably buy 4 to 5 dozen eggs every, I don't know, 4 to 6 weeks. It depends. Depends how much I'm baking. It depends how many eggs we're eating. But I had a few left this time in the fridge, so I only needed 4 dozen. But I don't like to get low to where I don't ever want to run out of eggs. So again, we buy these from a local farm. If you guys are local to the Wake Forest, Raleigh area in North Carolina, let me know and I can put you in contact with the farm where I purchased my eggs for $5 a dozen. And they're beautiful. They're large to extra large eggs. I never get anything smaller than a large egg from this farm. All right, well, I'm going to continue on my way here. I don't want to bore you with my little stories and crazy facts. And when I'm done washing the eggs, I'll come back and I'll show you how I dry them and how I store them in the fridge. Okay, so all my eggs are washed. And what I've done is I've gone to the fridge and I've taken out my egg container. This holds about 5 dozen eggs, okay? So every time I wash up new eggs, I clean it out, because, you know, little bits from the fridge get in there or whatever. And I take out the eggs that are in there, which I've already done. Let's see how many were in there. 2, 4, 6, 8 eggs is what I had left. And I purchased these from my local farm yesterday. All right, so all I do at this point is I take the eggs out and I just dry off the bottom and then I put them in the green container. The tops are dry, the bottoms aren't yet, so I just dry them off a little. You know, they're not terribly wet, but they're wet enough that I want to dry them off because you really don't want to put your eggs in the fridge wet. You want them to be dry. I mean, you can let them sit on the counter, but I like to get the job done, okay? So what I do is I dry off the eggs that I just cleaned, put them in the container. Then the eggs that I have left over from the last batch, I make sure that I put those on top. This way they're used first, okay? So there's nothing rocket science here to this process. But I've talked about it so much, I figured you guys might enjoy seeing how I go about taking care of cleaning my eggs. So I hope you've enjoyed it. At this point, I'm going to get through all 4 dozen and then put my older ones on top, put my container back in the fridge. Like I said, it's a good sized container. It's definitely going to fit this 4 dozen and what I have left over. Sometimes if I buy 5 dozen eggs and I still have like 6 or 8 left over, those 6 or 8 that I have left over, I have to put in a different container because they won't fit on top. But this time it's going to be fine. So here I am. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my coffee. Check out this coffee mug, Ruby Falls. Let's see, that was in Georgia, I believe. We went there. But I love the mug because it's so rustic and it's so fall. And fall's my favorite. So I'm going to continue on here. It is early in the morning here. That's why my lighting is so crazy. Everybody's still asleep. But I wanted to get up and I wanted to start my day by putting my eggs away. All right. Have a fantastic day, baker friends. If you ever have any questions about anything that I say or do, please feel free to leave your questions, your kind questions in the comments. I would love to see all your positive comments. I would appreciate you to like and subscribe to my channel, and we'll see you soon. Happy baking. Restack and give them back. I always return my empties to my local farm.